Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Wednesday, October 30th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with NXT, broadcast live last night on the USA Network from the WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. The show featured an NXT Tag Team Championship match main event, plus appearances from Bubba Ray Dudley, Rob Van Dam, and Jordynne Grace, as well as the first NXT match for Zarya. In the main event, Nathan Frazier and Axiom retained the NXT Tag Team title over Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander.
Oh no, out, gone.
Big superplex. We've also seen this in the past.
This big.
A brain buster, golden ratio combination. Axiom into the cover, into the count, and the champion retained.
Here are your winners, and still the NXT Tag Team Champions, Nathan Frazier and Axiom.
Champions retain.
Bubba Ray Dudley agreed to be the tag team partner of NXT champion Trick Williams after being attacked by Ridge Holland and Ethan Page during an in-ring promo segment. In her NXT in-ring debut, Zarya defeated Brinley Reese. After the match, Zarya was cornered by Fatal Influence NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade until the odds were evened out by Kalani Jordan, Stephanie Vacour, Julia, and TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace making her NXT return. The show also featured a segment that saw Rhea Ripley become the bloody victim of an attack in the Performance Center parking lot by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Excuse me, guys, watch out. Hey, whoa. What's going on? What's the deal?
Go ahead, get out of here.
Rhea, you there? Watch your head.
Watch your head.
Come on. Get her up. Get her up. You okay? Watch your head. Watch your head. Easy. You okay, Rhea?
Rob Van Dam was seen on the show in which he declared he would be a part of next week's NXT episode from the 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. In other results, Tatum Paxley beat Wendy Chu in a casket match, Charlie Dempsey retained the NXT Heritage Cup against Lexis King, and Kalani Jordan pinned Nikita Lyons. Following the match, Adriana Rizzo brawled with Lyons. In WWE news, the company yesterday announced the establishment of a new independent wrestling developmental program. Called WWE Independent Development, or WWEID, the program is described as a pathway for up-and-coming independent wrestlers to have a potential career in WWE. The program will reportedly entail official working relationships with prominent independent promotions and training centers, including Cody Rhodes' Nightmare Academy, Booker T's Reality of Wrestling, Seth Rollins' Black and Brave Academy, Elite Pro Wrestling in Concord, New Hampshire, and Rikishi's Knox X Pro Academy in Los Angeles. Within those organizations, WWE intends to identify specific prospects who would then be assisted and developed as a potential future WWE talent. The independent promotions listed as working partners would also be places for the company to send their developmental wrestlers as a way to gain experience. Said Paul Levesque, quote, WWEID is the latest in our efforts to identify and support the journey of up-and-coming wrestlers, in turn raising the profile of and strengthening the independent wrestling ecosystem, end quote. In Vince McMahon news, the 79-year-old former chairman and owner of WWE is preparing to launch a new venture, according to a report yesterday from PW Insider. According to the report, McMahon is establishing a new entertainment company that would fund development for movies and television, where he would be joined by several former WWE employees, including ex-Chief Operating Officer Brad Bloom, who resigned from the company this past May after being revealed as WWE Corporate Officer number 2 in the Janelle Grant lawsuit. McMahon, who resigned from his position in January, is also expected to be joined by Kristen Prouty, who served as WWE's Vice President of Entertainment Relations until being laid off earlier this year as part of redundancy cuts made by WWE's parent company, TKO. Last week, a suit was filed against McMahon, his wife Linda, WWE, and TKO by 5 men who accused the parties of failing to act on their claims of being sexually abused by former ring announcer Mel Phillips. In ratings news, AEW Collision drew an audience of 321,000 viewers to TNT last Saturday night, according to WrestleNomics. That's down from the previous week's viewership of 346,000. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .09, also down from the previous week's rating of .10. In TNA wrestling news, AJ Styles has claimed in a social media post that he turned down the company's offer to induct him into the TNA Wrestling Hall of Fame this past Saturday at Bound for Glory. It had previously been reported that WWE refused to allow TNA to induct him. Said Styles in a Twitter post, quote, "I'm still an active wrestler. I hope. I made the decision not to go into the TNA Hall of Fame, not WWE. I appreciate TNA, but I don't want to go into any Hall of Fame as long as I'm still active. My choice," end quote. And finally, in injury news, El Hijo del Vikingo sustained what was confirmed to be a right knee injury during his match with Trent Seven at TNA's Impact taping on Sunday in Detroit. The injury occurred when Vikingo attempted a dive to outside of the ring. According to an official statement from TNA, Vikingo was treated at a nearby hospital and returned to his hotel that night. He is currently on crutches and wearing a leg brace and is back in Mexico where he is scheduled to be treated by his specialist. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.